Alright, welcome back you lot. It's time to talk tanks again, because I'm constantly on the hunt for fun and exciting new tanks to either buy or print, because I have something of a problem. Also, there's more over there. Like, I could try and show you every tank I have. That would take quite a bit of reorganising because of the sheer number of boxes that are currently situated on those shelves. And frankly, I don't want to do that, because it'll make me sad. And yet, I keep looking for more. So, today we're going to take a look at some tanks from BadgersArmoury on my mini factory. Now, this is something where I did my usual thing of just randomly loading up my mini factory, having a look around to see if there's anything new and fancy for upcoming projects. So many upcoming projects. So many. And this just showed up on the front page. It showed up and I was like, good lord, this is quality. So, without further ado, let's have a look at some tanks. This is the Krieg Battle Tank. And I will say straight away, hats off to BadgersArmoury, because actual printed, painted example with multiple camera angles, I mean, that alone, I really like that. See, it's all very well seeing the stuff when it's just been rendered, but quite often, when you see renders of, especially STLs, there's something missing from it. I personally find it a little bit more tricky to gauge the overall, paintability of something. Is that even a word? Yeah, it's got to be a word, right? When it's just the render. With things like BadgersArmoury miniatures and stuff, I find it a bit easier for their stuff because I've got so much of it that it's like the experience of painting it kind of gives me something to base it on. But when it's a new creator, when it's something that I've never seen before, when it's something that looks relatively simple but could turn out to have some interesting little quirks here and there, I really like seeing a painted example, and the fact that this is a painted example makes me super happy. So yeah, this is the Krieg Battle Tank. I really, really like this. It's relatively, when I say relatively simple, this isn't meant as some sort of sick burn or the like. It's not overly fussy. I'm loving the sheer number of rivets. That is obviously excellent. Look, when it comes to tanks, the only thing better than having a tank that has got some real heft to it is a tank that's got some real heft to it and it's also covered in rivets. Those are the best ones. Also, these are obviously clear proxies for stuff for the Imperial Guard, so whilst this is the Krieg Battle Tank, obviously Leman Russ Battle Tank stand-in, I really like the way this has been done because it can be used for that and it does look like it was meant to be a stand-in for that, but it also very much looks like its own thing. The shape of the side hulls and the tracks, it is familiar, but there are significant differences that I think makes it stand out to be its own thing, its own interpretation. Things like, for instance, the cutaways on the side armour there, so you can see those front and rear wheels. Wow, what happened there? I don't know. I really like that anyway, it looks super good. We do have some traditional Leman Russ design cues here, obviously. The fact that there's no visible suspension at the bottom is something, but it's totally fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind it on Leman Russes. It would be stupid to complain about it on here. The shape of the turret I really like as well. It feels very... It feels a bit older. I don't really know how to say what I'm going to try to say next without it sounding a bit silly. It feels older than a Leman Russ. There's something about the shape of the hull and the overall proportions of it. The angle at the front of it I really like. That looks super cool. Also the little detail of having the shovel strapped to it. It's only a small thing, but I do think that adds quite a bit. I also really like the way that the rear of the tank has been done. It's very chunky. Again, we've got that shovel at the back. Having the trench rails, I believe they're called. That's always an instant win for me because, I mean, regardless of use and practicality, I just think it looks better. That's all there is to it. It's a very simplistic and possibly daft reason to like something like that, but I just think it adds an extra element and it just makes it look better overall. But yeah, the overall shape of this I really, really like. The venting on the back looks really cool. I also really like the way the exhausts have been done. Everything being super enclosed, I like it a lot. It is also, again, a significantly different thing to the Leman Russ that has got, you know, those exposed exhausts on the back every single time. So just little differences like that. I just think it works super well. It's not just the battle tank though, because there's also various proxies for other stuff too. You've got the anti-air tank, which different chassis going on there. And again, I really like the shape of this. The shared elements of that front section, just the shape of it is really nicely done. I do like the smaller, it's not exactly a turret, is it? Because it's more like an emplacement on the front that again has got that heavy bolter sticking out. Also the design of the heavy bolters, I like it. It is, again, something a bit different. It's not just a one-to-one of something that you get from Games Workshop. It feels very inspired by, but not directly copied from, if that makes sense. I really like the shape of those flat guns on the top of this as well. Also, you can see from the side profile, it's got a different like, chassis to the side. The hull is not the same, which, again, nice to see. And also the fact that we have a fully painted example. It probably helps that it's painted in the way that I like to paint my tanks, where you get a good bit of weathering on there and a good bit of like chipping and you call it a day. I really like the way this is done though. It does look super boxy, it doesn't necessarily look super advanced, but I think that fits in very well with the overall, I mean, let's face it, the overall feel of pretty much all Imperial Guard, and maybe not so much now Imperium stuff, because, you know, the Primaris Marines have got all sorts of nonsense going on, but you know, back when it was the classic of just a bunch of metal boxes, these fit in nicely. They feel appropriate for the universe, but they're not just a direct lift of something in it. Also, those stabilising legs at the back there, lovely touch. Really like that. Really like it. We've also got the artillery tank, which is the Basilisk replacement, and I love the turret on this. I love it. It's so good. I mean, it's all that you want from a Basilisk proxy. It's just a giant cannon in a big old turret. The thing is, I much prefer like the enclosed Basilisk. There's something about it just being an artillery piece on tracks where you've still got the open platform at the back. I've had them, but the fact is I just prefer a big old turret to like an open top on a vehicle, so this is absolutely perfect. It's not sleek and it's not graceful, but it is a big old gun in a big old turret on top of a square boxy tank. So really, what more could you ask for something that is a proxy for an Imperium vehicle? I mean, come on, just look at the profile on that. And by profile, I mean bunch of flat angles. There's also a Hellhound as well, or flamethrower tank if you're going to be technical about it, and again, big old box. I do like the big fuel tank on the back there. It's nice to see a partially exposed tank full of flammable liquid still sticking out the top of these. It's one of the things that makes the Hellhound charming. It's one of the things I like most about it, so I'm glad that tradition is kept alive, you know? There is, of course, the transport as well, which is your Chimera replacement, and again, it looks super, super solid. I really do like the overall shape of these. It just works really nicely. It feels like there is a bit more space for actual people in the back of this than in the Chimera itself. Not that that really means anything, because let's face it, none of the transports are to scale, but there is something satisfying about having a chunkier transport, you know? I really like the way the guns have been done on either side of this too. Little mini sponsons sticking out there, looks great. And I've saved the missile tank for last, which is obviously your Death Strike proxy. I love it. There's just something brilliant about Death Strikes. They just are fantastic. So anytime there's like a really good proxy for one, I just have a deep appreciation, you know? Absolutely ridiculous model. It's fantastic. There is the other variant as well, but I can't remember what that's called. That's bad. I feel like I should know what that's called. No, it's not the Hydra, because that's the Flak. It's the other one with missiles. You know which one it is. It's fine. For some reason, this particular variant just has an air of extreme authenticity to it, but I couldn't tell you why that is. All I know is that when it comes to tanks, a big old turret with a massive gun is the best, but a close second is a giant missile or four. So there you go, that's today's discovery. This is the Krieg line from BadgersArmoury on my mini factory. You know what, I can't remember how much each of these are. Let's have a quick look. So $7.99, so $8? I mean, $8 for that, I think that's pretty decent. As vehicle STL prices go, that's not bad. There is a bundle as well. Let me have a quick look at that. So that's the bundle. You've basically got every variant of the tanks, and that comes to $32, $35. I mean, hey, that's pretty decent. Everything you need to print all of those, as many as you like. That's not bad. I'm obviously not going to throw anyone under the bus, but there's plenty of not quite as well thought out vehicles on my mini factory for considerably more than that. But yeah, that was just something I found that I wanted to share with you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Shout out to BadgersArmoury for making some really cool tanks. This isn't a sponsored thing, but especially into the new year, I'm basically going to be doing my best to just share all the cool stuff I find with you, because, hey, there's 1,000 miniatures out there, and there's only so much time in the day to go searching, right? So if something cool pops up and I like it, I'll let you know. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.